the next match, which was Chris Jericho versus MJF. Right? What did you think of this one, Anthony?
This match already happened like a week or so prior.
Yeah.
Prior. This didn't need to happen a second time.
We'll get onto that in a minute, but yeah.
It's just that I don't get it. Jericho, as you and I agree, Manson, Jericho should not be wrestling at 50. Should not be anywhere near the ring at 50. It's just, and also to go over MJF.
Yeah.
But wasn't his career on the line or something?
Well, he's probably should be better off not wrestling anymore. I know that's harsh, right? But he does look slow now. He does look a shell of what he formerly was.
He looks old.
He's old. He's 50. You know?
But there are some 50-year-olds that are not. But he actually, if you look at him, he actually looks old.
Yeah, he does. And
so I'm not bagging him like probably I am, but I'm not. I actually like him, but he's got great charisma. He's brilliant on the stick.
But he's even lost that. Yeah. You know, if you're watching him, he's lost that now. He's more about, how can I say? He's more about the emoting and he's not as cocky. He hasn't got. I don't think he really believes in himself anymore.
Possibly.
Truth of the matter is, I don't think he believes. He's now doing it for a payday, and he's a lot of wrestlers that we've known in the past, you and I, they don't know when to give it up.
No.
And sometimes somebody needs to say to him, give him a tap on the shoulder and say, listen, if you're going to do these matches, do 1 or 2 a year and come out on special occasions. And that. MJF, he is an old school heel. He works the crowd very, very well. I don't know what you think, Pete. You saw him as well?
Well, again, I'd heard a lot about him, and I heard that even outside of the arena or the airports or whatever, he still is in character.
Yep.
And apparently,
how a heel should be.
Yeah, and he tells people to F off and pee off and all the rest, and apparently a real nasty one. But I actually sat back and had a good look at him because I'd heard so much, but I'd never seen him. I think he's got fantastic size. He's like, some guys, they just sort of look the part.
Yep.
To me, he looked like a really good old school sort of wrestler. He looked the part. I thought he was physically quite good. He's got skill. He's got ability. He's sort of not a bad looking bloke. If you from a look, he's got a lot of components to make him very sort of marketable to different parts of the thing. I actually I didn't mind him at all. I thought he was actually quite good.
To me, I look at him as the future of their company as far as heels. Now this harks back to the question with Jericho. Jericho lost to him the week before.
Yes.
Right? Submission, Anthony?
I think it was clean.
Was it clean, but not submission?
Yeah, I think it was a clean pinfall.
Okay.
Either.
Right. Now, like I said, once again, all the respect to Chris Jericho, 30-year career, everything else, respect. But why are you putting up somebody that is at the end of his career that's going to go out on tour to Fozzy? He's going on tour, the tour with the band, and you put him over probably what was in 2020 up and coming heels in the business, right? And then you burn him with Jericho like that. The feud is over. Jericho lost, but to get the win back on him, the booker should have said, "No, Chris, it's done. Move on. Go and tour. We'll bring you back, and you can tag with Sting or something like that. When you come back on 1 or 2 matches here and there." I don't get this match. I mean, I gave it 6.5 out of 10. I thought the match technically was good. Chris did look slow in places. MJF covered everything well for him. Made him look good. Solved for him, done everything he needed to do for him. But the outcome of the match didn't do, firstly, MJF any favors.
No.
Secondly, didn't do the company any favors. At the end of the day, when you're booking, it's the company first. That's why you should never be an active wrestler on the roster when you're doing it. right? So the outcome where Jericho is going on tour with Fozzy and MJF will be staying there to start a program with another face, whoever it might be, Darby Allin, could be anybody, I got no idea, right? Could even be CM Punk, who knows, right? Or Daniel Bryant, right? But you've just burnt that heel. You've burned him. You know, you could have brought him off a win off Jericho, saying that I just beat the greatest, you know, who he considers to be the greatest of what he does in the world. Yeah. And that opens up the Punk saying the greatest in the world. Because that used to be the argument between him and WWE. I'm the greatest at what I do in the world, and I'm the greatest in the world. So there was lots of options there that they sort of, I imagine, to make Jericho happy in some way, shape, or form, they sacrificed MJF on it. And sacrificed further storylines, which is even worse than sacrificing the. You can sacrifice a guy, but when you start sacrificing the moving forward of the promotion because of one guy, doesn't make any sense. That was my feeling of it. I gave it 6.5. I thought the match was good. The outcome did nothing for the promotion, did nothing for ongoing things if MJF's hanging around and Chris is going.
But Jericho has quite a bit of influence there.
Yeah, he does. But
quite a bit of influence. So, but again, that should not take away from your point, because what you've said is 110% spot on.
Yeah, I don't understand that, you know,
because they're going to almost start with MJF again to some degree.
Oh, yeah. And he's now going to start from zero.
You know, so, yeah, I don't know.
We'll talk about it later on, but this is a little bit of a problem they're falling into.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of WCW traits that are starting to show there. Yeah, he's starting to go, wait on, there's a few WCW traits that are starting to show on here. What do you reckon, Anthony? Just as a wrap-up of this match?
I just think that if you're going to build MJF as one of your top heels, I get it, you need to finish the storyline. I get it, Jericho's gone on tour with Fozzy. I understand that. But it would be so much better for MJF to go over Jericho, because that puts him out for like 6 months to a year even, and then further establishes MJF. I just don't know why they went the opposite way and went Jericho over MJF rather than MJF over Jericho. I just don't get it.
No, I don't get it neither. And like I said to you, I mean, like, Chris shouldn't be wrestling a full-time schedule anymore anyway. He just shouldn't be doing it. You can see by the way he moves, you know, and everything else. And I'm in the same boat. You know, for me, doing full-time matches and having a full-time run is impossible nowadays, you know. So I get it, but you got to learn, you got to sort of figure out that it's time for you to give it up. You can still come out and do the odd match here and there. If he was on commentary, and he get dragged off commentary to do one match here and there once or twice a year, that would have worked out well for Chris. But you know, I don't know why they did that.